Good morning, guys. It's Sunday. It's the official start of the week, and we are on our way to the garage right now. I just left my house, and we're going to do a clutch change on a Yamaha. I usually get done pretty quick, in a little under 2 hours if it's a really nice clean ski. And that's all I have booked for today so far. We should have some time to go ride, and that's why I'm in the truck. I got my ski behind me and another customer ski back there that we're gonna be tuning a little bit. Hopefully we'll get to go ride at some point today. It's Memorial Day weekend. I got a full day of work on a Sea-Doo tomorrow. I did some work yesterday, so today's really my only shot at riding. So we'll get on over to the shop. They're supposed to be there in about 20 minutes from now. I got a little cleaning up to do. Getting these like crazy work modes where the garage just gets a mess and there's stuffed tools everywhere, boxes and stuff. I just need it drives me nuts. I need to go tidy up a bit before they get there, and we'll get straight to work on that and hopefully knock this out pretty quick. We got the GP here for the clutch change, and we got to pull the supercharger off. We got to take this intercooler bracket out, and the oil pump on the front has to come out. But to do that, we have to drain the oil, otherwise this ski's going to be full of oil in the bottom. And you don't want an oily bilge, do you?
No, you know I like a clean ski.
Yeah, so we got to do this the right way. Drain all the oil. We're going to change the filter while we're at it. And we're going to take this clutch apart and see what happened. This ski has how many hours?
Probably like 65.
So 65 hours, really not that much. The clutch should be fine, but this one went out. Now I've seen Yamaha clutches last 5 hours, and I've seen them last almost 500 hours. So why is there a big gray area in between? Why do some don't last at all? Why do some last a long time? I don't know. Now there are a few things you can do to prolong the clutch life. One is putting a blow-off valve. Two is to let off the throttle when you come unhooked and never rev it on the trailer. So those rapid increase and decrease in RPM, if you leave the throttle pinned when coming unhooked or revving it freely on the trailer, it just slams the clutch and it will wear it very quickly. So that's something I never do. And I get pretty long hours out of my clutches. I've never had one fail less than 100 hours. And I beat the hell out of my skis when I'm riding them. They're stage 3 and above. I don't know, I guess a lot of it is how you ride it. A lot of it is just luck of the draw. So anyways, we'll get this thing out, take a look, and see exactly what failed in the clutch. The old clutch is out, and this spins in both directions, smooth as can be, which is not what you want. You want to spin one way and completely lock in the opposite direction. So underneath here, can't see it from this view, but there are sprag teeth. So I removed the C-clip, and we're going to take this apart and examine the sprag teeth and see how much they are worn, because that's probably what happened. Now we've got the clutch apart, and these are the sprag teeth that bites on. These teeth lock onto the outer race and the inner race of the clutch, but it'll be very difficult to see, but the tips have worn away just the slightest amount on the outside and the inside, and there's a little wear on the outside of the clutch race, and you could see the wear here. So this one, you could feel it with your finger, how it worn away. So it just takes that little amount between the wear on this, the wear on this, and the wear on the teeth to lose its bite. Okay, so I inspected the sprag teeth a little bit more because the wear honestly wasn't that bad. And looking at every single one of those teeth, I found one that was bound up and not letting the system operate as it should. So I fixed that tooth, put the clutch back together, and look at that. The clutch works just as it's supposed to now. So, very strange, right? It's just one little tooth got bound up and ruined the whole system. And now fixing that, this clutch is fine. Am I gonna put this clutch back in? Absolutely not. Probably defective or something, and that's why that happened. But it's interesting to see that this clutch now operates exactly as it should. Poor job on Yamaha's part, but we're getting the ski fixed today. Happy Monday, everybody. Not so happy for me. It's been one hell of a day. To give you a recap on yesterday, we got the clutch in the ski, went running, everything runs great. So that ski's great. Today, we got a spring and retainer job on this original Hull RXP, which is actually such an easy job on this hull. The seat base comes off, and I can access everything I need to right here. None of this stuff has to come off. Don't have to mess with any kind of cam timing. So this is like a really straightforward, easy job. I don't have to lean over a hull and reach down in to work on it because of the seat base. The top of the engine is pretty much flush with this. So this is like stupid easy. What's not so great about today is I went out and water tested a customer ski, working on the tuning for that, and the timing chain broke. Can't ever seem to catch a break sometimes. Here's the damage here, I already pulled it out. And you can see where the chain broke there, ate this up. So now that engine has to come back out. I was hoping to have that ski in the customer's hands probably around tomorrow, getting the tuning finished up on it, and it'd been ready to go. So that's beyond frustrating for me. And I know the customer as well. You know, everyone wants their ski. You know, shit happens. I mean, all I can really say about it, it's kind of luck of the draw. Never really have issues with the timing chains. Shouldn't have broke. Yeah, the valve train and the aggressive cam puts more stress on the chain. So I don't know if it was just a defective chain. Didn't put a new chain in it. Really didn't need to. It was a low hour ski. So that sucks. But after we get this ski done, we're gonna pull that one in, tear it down, and we're gonna assess the damage to that. Get this knocked out. That way we can get on to that ski. So the valve cover is off and the rocker shaft is off. And you can see this nifty little contraption here. So you put that on each cylinder, pressurize the cylinder up with air, and that will allow us to change out these valve springs without pulling the entire cylinder head off. And just like that, these springs and retainers are installed. Now I cannot finish it. I can't put the rocker shaft on it and the valve cover back on it because I do not have new rocker shaft bolts here. I'm gonna have to go to the dealer tomorrow and get those. Yes, I could probably install the old rocker shaft bolts and never have a single problem. They are torque to yield bolts. You're really only supposed to use them once. I know I could put the old ones in and it'd still be fine, but I am so picky about doing things the right way. I just can't bring myself to do it. I would not sleep knowing that this ski is running out there with the old rocker shaft bolts in it. I just can't do it. I have a very low failure rate for skis that come in and out of here. If it does, it's usually a freak thing, like the timing chain that broke today. And when stuff does fail like that, even though it's not my fault, I beat myself up a lot about it. It never makes me feel good. I never like having to call a customer and say something went wrong like that. It just sucks. I do everything the right way, install it the right way, and usually 99% of the time that's fine. It works out perfectly, but at the end of the day, stuff just happens to fail. Mechanical stuff fails all the time. So we're gonna get some new rocker shaft bolts. I'll button this up, and when I come back with y'all, we're gonna have that yellow ski in the garage, and we're really gonna start tearing it down to get it fixed. We're back in the garage with the ski that broke the timing chain. So you can see this was a pretty extensive build. We had a DDR intake manifold, callus cam, callus valve train, Fizzle Z142 supercharger. This ski really had it all done to it. Now the engine has to come back out and start taking it apart. I hate working twice, but I'm glad that this unfortunate situation happened to me while I was water testing the ski compared to the customers out riding it. You know, if I could find a weak link and eliminate it before a customer can, that's always a win. So we're gonna get this out and we're gonna do a few more upgrades to it while we do have the bottom end apart. I'll come back to you guys when the engine is out of the ski for another update. Well, we got the engine out, and now unfortunately we do have to pull the cylinder head off because in the process of breaking the timing chain, we bent the valves. I did a leak down test. These two cylinders are perfectly fine. This one has slightly bent exhaust valve. We're gonna get this head off. We're gonna disassemble the head. And we're going back with lightweight SuperTech valve. And then after we get the head off and assess the damage there, we're gonna drain the oil out of it, pull the bottom end apart, and see what the damage looks like down there. On this piston where we had the bent valve, you could see it just barely kissed the piston. This isn't going to damage it, thankfully, so we're good here. And we almost got lucky because this was the only one that made contact, and it barely made contact. You see these valves, see how you can see the air coming through there? So it just barely made contact and bent them. The rest of the valves are fine. We're going to put a brand new set of valves in it anyways. We're going to put the upgraded lightweight SuperTech valves. Those should be here tomorrow. In the end, this will be a better cylinder head. We'll have a better valve setup in it. So yeah, it kind of sucks that we got to go through all of this, but in the end, it's going to be a better engine. Now to replace the timing chain, we unfortunately have to take this entire engine apart. So I'm about to drain the oil out of it. Then we'll be able to pull the PTO cover off without making a huge mess. And then we have to split the cases. The connecting rods have to come apart. The crankshaft has to come out in order to replace the timing chain. So far, it looks like we got really, really lucky with this. Of course, we have some plastic from the cam gear cover all throughout the engine. We're going to have to clean that out, but it looks like we got really lucky on the block side. When the chain broke, it did no damage down here, so that's good. Now, if we come over here, we do have this filter screen on the back. There's no debris in here, which expected, but on the front oil pump, we do have a lot of the plastic material in here, which honestly, it kind of surprised me, because when the timing chain breaks, it like breaks instantly. But even in that instant, the filter screen picked up all these shavings from the plastic piece in the front. So we're gonna get a new filter on here and clean all this debris out. Before we do that, we're gonna split the cases and take a look inside of the bottom end. Well, the engine has been stripped down to just the pistons and the upper case, and we came out pretty lucky here. So when the chain breaks, this is the area that, you know, it flings in, the guide goes down here, but nothing is damaged. There's no metal damage anywhere, so we got really good. The crankshaft looks good. So we're really, really lucky with this one. We could slap in some new parts and this will be good to go. Now, while we do have this apart, I want to show y'all something pretty neat. If you've never taken an engine apart, chances are you've never seen anything like this. See how these rods, where we separate them, they're very rough textured. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it on camera, but this is because the rods, when they split them apart, they're fractured, so they break away like this. So this rod cap and this rod cap are not interchangeable whatsoever. You can't even turn these 180 degrees out. So when you take these apart, you have to lay them out in the correct orientation that you pull them off. If you put one of these on and even put it 180 degrees out, it's not going to work whatsoever. That is something neat that many of you may not have seen before. Now, when we do put this all back together, we're going back with all ARP hardware. So we're going to have ARP main studs and ARP rod bolts. I do sell these. I'll put a link in the description below if you want these for your own engine. That's going to be some extra reassurance there, especially on this high RPM engine. Do we need ARP main studs? Not really. We're taking apart, so we're going to put them anyways. But as far as the ARP rod bolts, that's going to ensure that these rods don't come apart at the high RPM, high horsepower level that this engine is going to make. So that's going to be it for tonight. We're still waiting on more parts. Parts for this engine are supposed to be here tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, so your guys are going to see that in next week's video. So over the weekend, I'm going to put this engine back together, back into this ski, and we're going to water test it, tune it, and try to get it into the hands of the customer before the end of next week. Thank you guys for watching. If you stuck around this far in the video, I appreciate that a lot. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next week when we put this engine back together.